Welcome to the story of a storm. This story is from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 8, verses 23 through 27. The lesson focus for grades 5 and 6 is Following Jesus Makes a Difference in Life. This very short story tells us what happens during a storm when the disciples are in a boat with Jesus. It has an important context within the Gospel of Matthew. In chapters 8 and 9 of Matthew, Jesus is walking around Galilee doing amazing things and calling people to follow him. On that day, following Jesus meant getting in the boat. This was probably not a big deal to the disciples. They were locals. They knew the lake. Some of them fished for a living. They probably got in boats most days of their lives. They knew how to handle boats. They could take care of themselves. But that day was different. A storm came up that threatened their lives. They were terrified. Luckily for them, Jesus was in the boat with them. And as it turned out, being in the boat with Jesus made all the difference. Jesus calmed both the storm and their fears. Jesus contrasts fear and faith repeatedly in the Gospel of Matthew. He says, "Do not be afraid," a lot. Repeatedly, Jesus refers to the disciples having little faith, yet he also says not much faith is needed. With faith the size of a grain of mustard seed, they would have power over creation. Later in Matthew's Gospel, Jesus tells them they can move mountains with their faith. This is a story of Jesus' authority and presence. Jesus' words changed the weather. The sea became calm when Jesus told it to. Jesus' words also changed the disciples. They were both amazed and calmed by Jesus' presence and power. Following Jesus makes a difference in life. We are called to follow him just like Jesus' original disciples. As we follow, we learn that we can trust Jesus, that Jesus is always with us, and that his presence in our life can be calming. Day-to-day life can sometimes be overwhelming and even frightening. When we're afraid, Jesus is with us. When we're facing the storms of life, we can trust that Jesus calms the storms of life and Jesus calms us. The disciples were forever changed when they decided to follow Jesus. Jesus had the power to calm storms. Following Jesus makes a difference in life. Emotions can run strong. In many cases, kids feel strong emotions about storms. As they share their storm stories during this lesson, listen for the range of emotions that kids express. Offer support and a listening ear to any kids who may have had a traumatic or frightening storm experience. Recognizing greatness can be tricky. Sometimes the kids in your group who are the most challenging and seem like they care the least will grow to be the ones who benefit most from your leadership. Don't sell them short. Each kid in your class deserves time and energy. You can be the one who gives them that. Kids this age react best to adults who are active members of the group rather than onlookers. Join in with this week's arrival activity by creating your own ridiculous storm hat. Kids need role models who show them that their goofy and creative sides are important and valuable. You can be one of those people. The Whom Do You Follow leaflet activity encourages kids to think about who they follow and why they follow those people. Kids this age are very opinionated about what kinds of adults, famous or not, are cool or not cool. Steer kids away from criticizing the answers of others. We can best look at and judge our own role models, not those of other people. Your kids may think of Jesus as someone who was important a long time ago, but Jesus is still important today. We learn more about Jesus' importance by hearing his stories. Following Jesus makes a difference in life.